Vishaka. This lady, Vishaka, she was the chief benefactress, chief daika, devotee to the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. She constructed a temple in the eastern Savatthi, we call it, what we call Pubbarama. And the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, stayed 6 vasa in that temple. Today, I am going to talk about whether lay people should need to be monastic in order to become a Sotāpanna. This is a very interesting topic because there are so many talks and books, writings, conversations, dialogues going on, asking lay people to live their lay life to become a Sotāpanna. Sotāpanna means the first stage of spiritual attainment, that we all are supposed to become Sotāpannas. In order to become a Sotāpanna, we all need to overcome 3 fetters. 3 fetters means 3 sangyojanas. A fetter means a chain, 3 chains that have enchained us into samsara. The first chain is Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi means clinging to your 5 aggregates, clinging to your rupa, I would say form, clinging to your feelings, Vedana Kanda, clinging to your sanya, that means clinging to your perceptions, and then sankhara, clinging to your sankhara means clinging to your mental formations, and vijnana, clinging to your own consciousness. So when you are clinging to your 5 aggregates, you are creating what we call Sakkaya Ditthi. This Pali term has lots of translations. It could be very bad, but when you understand the Pali context very well, especially the Dhamma context of the Sakkaya Ditthi, you will understand it is something different than these translations. So I would basically explain Sakkaya Ditthi to be the clinging to the sensual 5 aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. So this is the first thing when someone overcomes in becoming a Sotāpanna. And then the second thing is Silabbata Paramasa. Silabbata means, Sila means precepts, or I would say ethics or morality, and Vata means cults. If somebody practices Sila and Vata, cults, different moral cults, they could end up with Silabbata Paramasa. That means you have to even practice Sila in a moderate way, in a careful way, because Sila should be practiced to attain Samadhi. That means when you are practicing Sila, you have to always understand that Sila will lead me to attain Samadhi, and then Samadhi to Panya. It is how it works. So the second thing that you will be overcoming in becoming a Sotāpanna is Silabbata. Sila means morality, Vata means cults. Actually, in Buddhist teachings, we are not supposed to have different cults. Cult is an extreme practice. Even if you practice good things, as a cult, it is taking you not out of samsara, but so much inside of the interior of the samsara. Third sangyojana, fetter that you will overcome, is Vicikiccha. Vicikiccha means doubts about the Buddha, Dhamma, his doctrine, and Sangha, and previous life, next life, and so many other fundamental Buddhist doctrine points. So now our topic is that if you are a layperson and if you want to become a Sotāpanna, are you supposed to become a monastic? Not necessarily. If you really want, you can go ahead, but it is not mandatory. One very good example that I cite for this topic is Vishaka. This lady, Vishaka, she was the chief benefactress, chief daika, devotee to the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. And as you can hear that read that she constructed a temple in the eastern east and south. We call it what we call Pubbarama. And the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, stayed 6 years, 6 vassa in that temple. Unlikely 18 years in the Jetavanarama, which was built by Anathapindika, Banka Anathapindika. So Vishaka, at the age of 7, became a Sotāpanna. You could, of course, argue that maybe she had done homework before. But it is not the thing here. She became a Sotāpanna when she was 7 years old. And then she fell in love with a man and she got married to that man. How was it possible? If she became a Sotāpanna, if somebody becomes a Sotāpanna, how is a marriage possible? How is a thought of falling in love with possible? How does Sotāpanna's mindset, where there is no Sakkaya Ditthi, work with their understanding? That has to be investigated. And having attained Sotāpanna at the age of 7, Vishaka married one person, and then she got children. Not even that, she even got lots of grandchildren. But she never wanted to become a nun. That is interesting. Now, if Vishaka became a Sotāpanna, why she didn't want to even become a Sotāpanna, become a nun? So that is interesting. That means you don't necessarily need to walk out from the lay life. So if somebody proposes, teaches an idea that everybody has to leave lay life to become monastic simply to attain Sotāpanna, that is not a valid point in comparing, in reading the life of the Buddha. The big issue here is that lots of people do as such only by reading suttas. Suttas were given to different individuals. Some individuals, most individuals were very high-minded, noble individuals, not for normal lay people. And so we should learn suttas under a good teacher. Otherwise, if you happen to read suttas online without consulting an expert, I would say definitely a monk who has scholarly practice and then who has the practitioner perspective, you will misread and misunderstand suttas. That is why it is very important to learn life of the Buddha in its entirety, and as much as how it gives us the truth. In the life of the Buddha, we understand these noble individuals, especially his Dayakas and Dayikas, lay men and lay women. So Vishaka is a fine example. That means when you become a Sotāpanna, that means the very least that you will be spending in the samsara is one life, and the most that you will be spending in samsara is 7 lives. You making sure that you have already found the way out from the samsara. It is said that when you attain Sotāpanna, that you are minimizing, you are ending any possibilities of being reborn in a apayas, one of the 4 hells. That means you have completed your mission in a good way. Although you will still have to go to Sakadagami, or maybe you might jump into Arahant, being an Arahant. So as lay people, if you look at Vishaka's story and many other stories, it may be Isidatta or some other stories, that the message that those stories tell us is that you don't have to become a monk unless you want to do that. But in order for you to become a Sotāpanna, your lay life is more than enough to practice. But you might feel in today's world, lay life might be a place of lots of struggle, lots of happiness. So managing that life is up to you, but you don't necessarily have to become a monk or a nun to attain Sotāpanna. Let me sort of clarify what may have happened to Vishaka in being with her husband. How did her Sakkaya Ditti's eradication work with her to be with her husband? Honestly speaking, and speaking from the textual context and from the story's context, it is said that when somebody overcomes Sakkaya Ditthi, what is happening is that that person understands that I should not cling to this body, to her body, to his body, and to some person's body. But still, the lay life is going on. The love is going on. But that love is an understood love. It is a deepened love where that person understands what will happen at the end and what is the separation like and what is the frustration like, but still commits to that life without disgusting, without, I would say, criticizing the lay life. That is how Vishaka took uh, the absence of Sakkaya Ditthi into her relationship, marriage, and with her lay life. So you don't have to become a monastic unless you want to do so by being a committed person. But in order for you to become a Sotāpanna, even a good lay life where you understand what to do, where to do, how to do, and when to do are enough. So you're going to make that true and become a Sotāpanna. Thank you.